Yeah, there's a little bit of news on the Minato manga, and that's freaking awesome because we've been talking for a little bit now over here on, ideas and what could happen and whatnot. And now we finally got a little something. We got a first look at what Minato is going to look like. We got a release date for this bad boy. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just ecstatic because it's been, I don't know how long now since we've had anything. It feels like we're in a drought, lads. We're in a massive drought for Naruto and Boruto related stuff because, yeah, Boruto's been on hiatus. We haven't had a chapter since, was it April? I want to say April was the last, or did we get a chapter? Yeah, April was the last one, and then we wasn't getting one until August. So we haven't had Boruto. Of course, the Boruto anime is off air. The Sasuke spin-off manga came to an end. It's been a drought, so to speak. So to actually finally have something here regarding the Naruto Boruto verse is interesting. So I guess let's get started with looking at what the heck this thing actually is, because we got an image of Minato, of what he's going to look like in the actual spin-off manga. And again, in case you don't know, this is the whole thing, because some people may not know about the Naruto Top 99. There was this big competition called Naruto Top 99 where people voted in, and the winner of this vote system would get their own manga drawn and written by Masashi Kishimoto himself, the original creator of Naruto. And at the tippy top of it all was indeed Minato, aka the fourth Hokage, Naruto's father. And so with winning this, we've been patiently waiting. I personally said I figured it would be either June or July that they would drop this manga. They probably weren't going to wait, post the Boruto manga return. It just makes more sense. And even more so, I'm wondering if there could be some tie-ins with what's going on with Boruto. But again, let's take a look at this image of what we got so far. We got, boom, this is the image that they put out to announce that Minato's manga is incoming. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it looks cool. It looks dope. It's something different. Definitely, in my opinion, a little bit like, okay, so he had what looks like modern streetwear back in the old Shinobi era, but why not? Dog has a little, I can't even tell, is that supposed to be a hoodie or not? It doesn't look like it has a hoodie in the back, but it got the hoodie strings. Either way, it's like, all right, Kishimoto, we see you cooking. We gonna let you cook. I ain't gonna lie, I like it. Obviously, again, it's Minato in his younger days. I believe in Kishimoto's interview, he said that he was going to be exploring the origins of a famous technique of his. Most people are assuming the Rasengan, because Minato was the one that created the Rasengan, correct? But it could also be the flying Raijin, so there's a couple of different aspects to it. I went further, and a lot of people say, yo, that'd be crazy. Holy cow, this will blow up mad doors. I went further with it and said, well, what about if we find out whoever it was that helped him to learn the either Rasengan or Flying Raijin could be connected to the final villains, or have some ties in general to stuff that's going to go on in the Boruto manga, similar to the fact that, because in case you don't know, Boruto's manga is pretty much, has kind of been like a strange pseudo reboot of Naruto. Like, there's no secret, and if you haven't figured it out yet, the fact that there's so many elements of the manga is straight up like, yo, this is how Naruto did it, this is how Boruto does it. Initially, they didn't even want, or I don't want to say they didn't want, but there was a part of throughout negotiations when they were talking about like what comes after Naruto, the idea was, yo, how about we reboot Naruto, like we do Naruto again, but I guess you would say like a multiverse type of aspect. And that idea eventually got shot down. However, it turned into Boruto being kind of like, using the blueprint of Naruto and redoing certain aspects, but with the Boruto characters, so the timeline is technically still continuing on. So with that being said, if everything so far has been like, okay, this is the when Orochimaru attacks the leaf, this is that, then ideally what would be mirroring this, or what this would be mirroring, would be the Kakashi Gaiden manga. The Kakashi Gaiden manga was essentially kind of set up in a way of Obito's big introduction. Like, we've seen little inklings of Obito before in the story. The Kakashi Gaiden manga was where we started to see a full-on flashback of Obito, and then voila, we hop into Shippuden, and one of the main villains of the entirety of the story that manipulated everything was Obito. So I theorize, well, if everything has been a mirror thus far with Naruto and Boruto, then maybe this is going to be the Kakashi Gaiden. On top of the fact that, coincidentally, this Minato manga, it is official because we got the date in Japan. It'll be July 16th, which I want to say it'll be like the 15th or 16th for us because we're like, 13, 14 hours behind Japan. So it'll be technically almost 1 month prior to the Boruto manga return, where we have this Minato spin-off manga, just a one-shot, releasing, which is similar to how Kakashi Gaiden came before Shippuden, and this is coming before the Shippuden time skip-esque aspect of Boruto. It's all aligning. Granted, it could just be that it's a coincidence, right? It could just be like, it's just happenstances, so to speak. But I'm just saying, this is something very massive. This could also launch potentially a Minato spin-off of sorts, because we do know that the Naruto and Boruto IP isn't in the best shape as it stands right now worldwide. Manga sales would be doing about like 30-some thousand in 3 days. That's not great, you know what I mean? So they might be looking into like, well, let's get a Minato spin-off, and if it's tied into the Boruto thing, that would be even more grandiose, especially if we're going into the origins of either the Rasengan. If that's the case, then we might actually have somebody that taught him how to create the Rasengan or inspired the Rasengan, whether it be another Obito case where it's one of Minato's mans, somebody that was on his team. Either way, it could be somebody that was involved that taught Minato the Rasengan, that ultimately could either be tied to Amado, could be tied to Shibai Osutsuki. So there's a lot of aspects in this. But what we also know, again, I'm going to bring the page back up now. We got the first look at Minato, which I ain't gonna lie, the drip is fantastic, and that's definitely Kishimoto's art all the way. Looking at this picture just flat out makes me really miss Kishimoto. I'm gonna be honest with you, it makes me really miss that Kishimoto art. I understand that we're probably never gonna get homie to ever return full on, like, hey, I'm doing the manga now, because realistically it's too taxing on the body. Like, just the other day, I was reading an author comment from, I want to say it was one of the creators of Food Wars, that they're back in Shonen Jump doing Temaku Cinema. They were saying, I forgot how hard it is to be in Shonen Jump again. Kishimoto's pretty, he's not old, but he's a little bit up there in age. So for him to return, it would kind of be a little taxing on the body. That's why when he came back with Samurai 8, ultimately homie didn't do the art. He was doing like storyboards and allowing the other dude to do it. But damn it, seeing this right here is, again, like back when he was doing the Sarada Gaiden chapters, how crisp the art looked. Like, Kishimoto still got it. He ain't lost a beat. And then based on the info that we got, we know, like I said, the date is, let's see here, Naruto Gaiden Minato One Shot will release on July 16th 2023 and issue number 33 of Jump, which again, that might be the 15th for us. Whatever Sunday that is, that'll be the officials, and obviously the leaks will come out before then, so maybe this will leak out the 12th or the 13th. We'll have leaks of like what it's about, and probably the full-on chapter will leak by then for people that enjoy leaks and whatnot. And it will be a 55-page long manga. That's a lot can be accomplished with 55 pages, I'm just saying. So now it's just a matter of like, okay, 55 pages, what the heck are they gonna do with that? Again, is it gonna take 55 pages to explain about how he created the Rasengan? It could be a lot more nuanced than that. And I ain't gonna lie, just seeing the art again is like, okay, we finally got a little bit of insight into what's going to be going down with this Minato manga, especially, again, just stressing that art looks freaking fire. That's what, a little over 2 weeks from now. Today, the recording of this, or the live streaming of this, is June 27th. So we got a little over 2 weeks for Minato's manga to debut. What do you guys think? I'm very, very curious right now. What do you guys think is going to be like the main thing? Obviously, it's going to be about the creation of either the Rasengan or the Flying Raijin. How do you think this is all going to play out? I'm very curious. Minato was influenced by the tail beast bomb when developing the Rasengan. It was stated in the manga. Okay, he was influenced by it. That doesn't necessarily mean that he completely created it based off of just influence like that. It could have been that somebody showed him a variation of the beast bomb and was like, yo, you could do it like this. There's a wide variety of things. Or it could have nothing to do with who taught him the actual Rasengan. It could be just a story of something that happened that ultimately leads to, like, there's a person in the story. It doesn't have to necessarily be the person that taught him the Rasengan that is going to be tied into this Shibai Osutsuki character, Amado, or anybody else in the Boruto manga. And mind you, I could be totally off, and this is not going to be mirroring the Kakashi Gaiden stuff, even though it makes absolute sense of this is a one-shot that takes place in between Boruto and Boruto Shippuden, similar to the one-shot that took place in between Naruto and Naruto Shippuden with the Kakashi Gaiden manga. It all lines up very perfectly. Again, the fact that the Boruto manga has been mirroring Naruto pretty much every step of the way, obviously doing its own thing with these mirrored events, but nevertheless it's still been going beat by beat in the same format, in the same fashion. So it very well could be, again, that this is going to be very important and very integral to the Boruto story moving forward, or it could just be a nice little a little treat to the Naruto fandom. And also I read somewhere that there's going to be colored pages for this one shot as well, so there's going to be a lot to take in. I'd imagine, again, like maybe the 12th or the 13th we'll have leaks of the colored pages, and then we'll probably have a synopsis. So maybe when spoilers roll around, maybe I'll do a stream, because that's like the only thing, you already know, Boruto's the only series at this point where I will still consider covering spoilers. Everything else, like, you know, the Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, I just wait for the officials. I'm cool on that. Boruto's the only one because it's, you know, technically a continuation of the Naruto verse, and I love me some Narutos, and I know a lot of people rock with me from the old Naruto days. They just better make something good though at the end of the day, because I think it would be kind of lackluster if it's just like a very simple thing. Like, don't get me wrong, that's very well what it could be. Like, and at the end of the day, maybe I should say more so, I'm gonna be grateful with what we get, simply because, like, yo, they don't have to give us anything. Like, realistically, we don't have to get nothing. But in terms of to make impact, in terms of from the other side of things, like the business side of things, and just in general, whatever they're trying to do with the IP, because they're trying a bunch of different stuff. They're doing, you know, those 4 original Naruto episodes. They're doing the whole Boruto, you know, return with the anime, the time skip. They're trying a lot of different things. This one, ideally, if it has impact and it's more than just a little quaint relic of a cool little story of Minato, could do something at the very least to kind of bring back the name of Naruto and bring in the Naruto fans. It looks like that's also been the aim as of recent with the Naruto franchise and Naruto IP of, like, yo, remember Naruto, don't forget about it, because we also had that, what was it, the 20th anniversary animation and stuff like that. They've been really trying to remind people, yo, remember Naruto, remember Naruto. So if Minato, even if it's a cool little story, if it doesn't have impact, if it doesn't have or provide any substantial value, people are gonna just be like, ah, cool, whatever, like that was overhyped and not needed. So yeah, I feel like if it doesn't tie into Boruto, at the very least, it has to be something insightful that a Naruto fan could be like, oh snap, I never knew that, and I actually appreciate knowing that now about this part of the Naruto story, or something along the lines of that. That would be major, that would be huge. But yeah, again, I'm gonna actually take the stance of whatever we get, I'm just gonna be grateful to get some more stuff from the Naruto verse, because it's, you know, it's been years. It's been years since we've had proper Naruto stuff, and obviously it's a little bit different because it's Minato technically, not Naruto, but still, either way, I'm looking forward to it. Also, the fact that I have no doubt in my mind that at the very least Shueisha wants this thing to be somewhat of a thing. If you guys don't remember, I remember very vividly that once Naruto was coming to an end for a time period, they had a new logo that they stripped out and stopped using for whatever reason, but they had a logo of, it was Minato, Naruto, and Boruto combined, and they made it seem as though like there was going to be some multi-generational thing that they was going to do. Over time, that dissipated, and it was just like, yo, here's Boruto, you know what I'm saying? The fact that they're bringing Minato back into the fold because he supposedly won the popularity results, which I'm still kind of questioning, like maybe Shueisha wanted this to be the outcome all along because this was part of their plan. You know, you got to imagine that some stuff they plan ahead of time. Who knows if this has been in the cards all along? Like, eventually we get in that Minato spin-off bag, you dig? So I wouldn't be surprised if that was a part of Shueisha's plan all along to do this Minato thing. And in general, if they're invested like that, they probably would want to make people give more than just a, oh, that's cool. They probably want to sell this volume, and they probably want to get people reignited into their love and passion for this franchise. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot riding on this Minato thing more than meets the eye, based on the timing. Like, yo, it's a drought of Boruto, Naruto right here, as a matter of fact, because it's been months already since there's been any Boruto or Naruto related new releases of content of any sorts. This right here is a good gauge of, well, now there's a complete drought. This is like the biggest burst and splash that something can do. Let's see what it actually does. Granted, I throw the argument that maybe it takes a little bit away from Boruto that comes next month, because it's like, yo, we're returning with the time skip, but fans are already gonna be spoiled, like, yo, but we had that Minato last month, that shit was fire. Like, yeah, I'll get to Boruto eventually. I'm still hype off that Minato. So who knows? Is 55 pages a little? I don't read manga. That is a lot. Most of the time, the only time you get a 55-page manga is when it's just a self-contained story, or sometimes a first chapter of a manga will be extra long. The average standardized page count for a chapter, unless you're like really running short, which Black Clover and My Hero Academia has been doing this lately with like these 10 and 11 page chapters, 9 page chapters. I don't know what the hell they've been doing, but standardized is between 15 to 20 pages for a regular chapter. When you're going less than that, it's like, whoa, what are you doing? And granted, there are some manga, like back in the days, OG Dragon Ball, and I think even Dragon Ball Z, pages was sometime, the page count would be like 15 pages. It'd be like, whoa, what the hell? And when you're going like to like 25 and up is where you're like, okay, now you're really extending the page count. So 55 pages is a massive amount. Aline 7, thank you for coming through, first time chatter. I thought it'd be longer. It's not even a normal volume length. Scarlet Spring was 150 plus pages. Well, Scarlet Spring was marketed as a mini manga. Like that was kind of like a little series, so to speak. Minato's manga was, you know, they were very upfront from the get-go that this is a one-shot. A one-shot is usually that page count. So think more along the lines of, for people that read the Mitsuki one-shot. Remember when we got the one-shot that they inevitably adapted into the Boruto anime of Mitsuki's past, of how he came to be and how he fought against Orochimaru and that older clone? This is more along the lines of that type of storytelling. Just a one burst, a nice big chunk, but one self-contained story. Kishi did say in the letter that he would try to satisfy the Minato fans, so I think he prepares something good for us. I hope it's something good, but again, I hope it's not just like something that's dope but forgettable, because if it's forgettable, then it's like, you know, and maybe, you know, the creation of the Rasengan can wow us. Maybe it could be something connected to something totally unexpected. Who knows? Maybe him and a Hyuga did it together, and it's like, whoa, that secret Hyuga that we never heard of till now. It's kind of crazy. So there's endless possibilities. I just don't want it to be a run-of-the-mill one-shot that who cares after the fact. Like, I want to be able to walk away from that and be like, Kishimoto still got it. Like, that's probably the strongest thing that I want to be able to say. Kishimoto still got it. He hasn't lost his step yet. Hopefully we can get that. And who knows, maybe Jiraiya might make an appearance in that one, considering the fact that, you know, he was linked with Minato and whatnot. And also there's the Kashi and Koji stuff going on in Boruto, so it's not far-fetched to say that they would connect those two things to kind of have him, you know, because he was the one that taught Jiraiya the Rasengan, right? Need a Shibai Gaiden when Boruto comes back, not gonna lie. Shibai Gaiden would be fire, I ain't gonna lie. I don't even know if they do a Shibai Gaiden, to be honest with you, because that's probably something that they have to creep into, considering we only just barely heard about homie. If they immediately go into that, I mean, it could work, but considering I'd imagine Boruto is probably going to go for another 7 years or beyond, depending on what the success is looking like, I'm imagining they're gonna try and save as much mystery as possible, which is why a lot of things from Boruto Part 1 has been stuck in like mystery limbo. Like, where's, you know, Kashin Koji? What happened to him after the fight against Ishiki? There's a lot of mystery that's still lining up that is like, okay, they want to make sure that there's enough to keep it going for a while and keep things suspenseful moving forward into the Boruto time skip. And again, this Minato thing could assist in adding even more mystery of like, whoa. And it would tie in, it would sell both back and forth. It would sell Minato volumes, it would sell Boruto volumes. I wouldn't be surprised too if they want this Minato thing to be a lot more successful than the Sasuke spin-offs, because the Sasuke spin-offs, I'm very shocked, to be honest with you, at the sales of the Sasuke spin-offs. They've been doing about, which, don't get me wrong, like, if I released tomorrow a manga tomorrow of any kind, selling these sales, I would be through the moon, like, oh my god. But for one of the most popular manga franchises of all time, and being a spin-off to the one that people really love, you know, it's a character from the Naruto series, the Sasuke stuff, to do about 14 to 15,000 in 3 days is not the greatest of sales, if I'm just being honest with you. Like, I'd imagine Shueisha would have loved 50,000, 100,000, because it's Sasuke. It's Sasuke from Naruto, you know what I'm saying? And it's a Naruto spinoff, and it had Sakura in it as well, 2/3 of the collective of the original series. So I'd imagine that they're probably disappointed with that, and they thought maybe it was going to do more, and now they're coming with Minato, like, hoping like, yo, we need Minato to really do something, you know what I'm saying? They probably are trying to find, not necessarily a replacement, but maybe a companion series to Boruto to keep hope alive, so to speak, for the Naruto verse and the Naruto franchise, because we could love Boruto as much as we do, and I went on record and saying like, yo, sometimes Boruto, like during the Koji stuff and the Ishiki fights, I felt like I was reading Naruto again. That's how dope it is. That doesn't change the fact that it's not the most successful thing. Manga sales are down, have been going down pretty much with every single volume. It isn't the most successful. I mean, they wouldn't have taken the anime off air if it wasn't for the fact that I'm sure sales and, you know, the numbers aren't the greatest as they would like. And don't let the TV Tokyo money grossing thing fool you, because TV Tokyo will tell you every freaking year that Boruto is either the second or most profitable thing that they have. But one of the things is they're attributing a lot of the money that Naruto brings in to Boruto, because there's no way you're going to tell me that Boruto was more successful than stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh, than stuff like Bleach with the 1,000 Year Blood War Return. Like, come on, Bleach's 1,000 Year Blood War Return has, like, with the Disney Plus license alone, that must have been astronomical money that they made for Disney coming in and saying, yo, we want that exclusive, you know what I'm saying? I think they put it on Hulu, but it was Disney that grabbed the rights, because Disney is Hulu. And that's not to slight Boruto, but we know that there's so much hatred or dismissal of Boruto simply for it existing. So I'd imagine that Shueisha's probably looking to, yo, let's try and prop this shit up the best we can, you know what I'm saying? Let's try and get some type of love going for this thing. Let's get a Minato thing would be fire. I'm really worried for the anime, to be honest. Yeah, it's on a break, so the scheduling should be better, but we still don't have enough manga material to adapt into the anime. Filler waves are coming. They might really go the route of, which is crazy because you would think like, okay, they're going off air, we could go seasonal now. If they don't go seasonal, then we're 100% in store for a really hype return, maybe straight all the way through to what the latest chapter is right now of the manga. And then remember what happened with Naruto after episode 134? I think it was after 134. From 135 to 220 was all filler. So we may be in store for that if they decide to not go the seasonal route. I don't understand any reason at this point, considering that they took the damn thing off air. So it's not like they need it on air at this point. They showed we don't really need this on air. Like, we're surviving, I don't want to say just fine, but we're surviving without Boruto airing every freaking week. Come back, finish the story of the where we have left with the manga, go and just keep the seasonal route. And even better and more ideal at this point, when you got talent like Kimura Shingo that can emulate Masashi Kishimoto's art to the T, have him join on board alongside Ikamoto and Masashi Kishimoto overseeing it, and bring this bad boy weekly, bring it back home to Shonen Jump. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people saw the clip that I re-uploaded from my last stream where I was talking about the hopes of what, you know, Boruto and Dragon Ball Super could do bringing it to Shonen Jump. But it's just the truth. It's just the truth. With Black Clover, My Hero, and Jujutsu Kaisen leaving the magazine, majority of battle fans are going to be gone. The only battle fans that'll be left are One Piece fans and people that are still somewhat willing to try some new shit. But the battle fans are going to be gone. You put Boruto's time skip in there, you market it, and make people actually want to give it a try, a lot of battle fans are going to be right there, and they ain't going nowhere if you have Boruto's time skip there, especially if you have this Kimura Shingo guy that can emulate Masashi Kishimoto's art sitting right there. It's so win. It's so freaking win. You got a ton of people that are going to stick to the magazine. You could prop this up for a long while, even with One Piece still on its finale. Like, it's so win. There's so much they could do with Minato's gen. Orochimaru leaving the village, Orochimaru versus Jiraiya, the ninja war with Minato in it. Yeah, and considering we got 55 pages, I think that they could do some good stuff in there. I'm imagining it's going to be either probably Minato in the midst of some war and coming up with the Rasengan to defeat some foe, and maybe it could be that foe that he quote-unquote defeated wasn't actually defeated, and again could be tied into stuff that's happening in the manga right now. And having Orochimaru, regardless of what, is always a win story-wise for Naruto. You put Orochimaru in the story, chances are it's going to be something very interesting, fascinating, creepy, whatever you want to call it, but it's going to be lit. Fornever, what do you think will the 4 episodes in September be about? That's a good question, to be honest with you. I'm imagining that the 4 episodes are going to be really just trying to tug at the heartstrings of nostalgia. It's probably going to try and remind you, which is what most of the stuff has been trying to do, of everything that you love about Naruto. So expect a lot of Team 7 moments, expect a lot of references back to old things. So you're going to probably even get the flashbacks, probably reanimated, of, you know, the eraser hitting on Kakashi's head when he first went to them. It's a clear sign with them going back to even that stuff that, Like, yeah, they really want Naruto fans. Like, if you are in here right now watching, and let me know if you are. If you're in here watching and you're not a Boruto fan, you're strictly Naruto, does any of this stuff that they're doing kind of entice you to hop back into the franchise as a whole? Whether it be the Minato spin-off, Boruto is now, they're growing up, they're going into this time skip, the Naruto stuff, like these 4 episodes. Does any of this entice you to become like, you know, I'm back in the fold with all of this stuff again? Or are you still like, I don't give a shit? Like, keep it honest, keep it real. Even if you're mad excited again and you wasn't, or vice versa, I would love to know. They need to do something to keep people's attention though, and not no boring ass stuff. Like, I'm surprised that in all the years that the anime was rolling, the anime rolled for about what, 6 years, I want to say, right? And all of that time they never learned their lesson that you could do it all you want, but in all actuality, and I'm gonna just keep it all the way real right now, 99% of people that have ever watched, heard of, enjoyed, passed by Naruto and Boruto, hardcores for it, whatever you want to call it, do not give a fuck about the happenings of Team 13 looking for a cat. That is garbage. You know what I'm saying? That's garbage. Nobody wants that shit. Like, shout outs to the little kiddos that have the wallets in Japan, and that's probably why they would do that, to market towards like, hey, yo, their parents got wallets, so let's keep them on board with these little kitty episodes. Majority of people don't want that. Let's be honest with you. And it's weird that it took 6 years. Like, nobody cares. You know, no one cares. Hey, seasonal Boruto would be one of the best decisions for the franchise. It would, like, come back and adapt everything up until the manga right now, and then go off air again, and then come back with time skip and seasonal. It's just, hello, Studio Pierrot, Shueisha, are you listening? Some speculated Sakumo, the White Fang, Kakashi's father. That'd be huge. Yo, now that I think of it, dog, oh my god, what if it is the White Fang that is going to be involved and pivotal in Minato learning the Rasengan? It doesn't even have to be openly him, but just, wow. Remember one of the things, and you may not, but I'll jog your memory, or I'll fill you in if you never heard about it. One of the things that the Boruto manga promised, I think it was Ikamoto or Kodachi, I can't remember, but this was many years ago now. It was promised that Kakashi was going to be super important at a certain point in the manga. Kakashi was going to have a pivotal role in the manga. He was going to be big, and it never happened. To my knowledge, has Kakashi ever even showed up in the Boruto manga? I know he was in the anime. I don't remember him in the Boruto manga, not the Sarada Gaiden. I'm talking about the manga itself. Has Kakashi ever even showed up? If they still have that, and this has been planned since the get-go, because you never know, they could have had this part about Kakashi and the White Fang. It could very well be that the White Fang is involved in all of this somehow. Maybe the White Fang faked his death all along. That would be so messed up. And a part of me is like, yo, let's keep it real, dog. Kakashi's been through enough. Kakashi's been through enough, dog. Like, can we just leave him alone? So part of me is like, I don't even want Kakashi to have to come back and do anything, because he went through enough. Like, you could throw the argument from a seinen older person's point of view that Naruto was very heavily about Kakashi's story, because one of the main villains that manipulated the entire world throughout the entirety of Naruto, even before it, was Obito, Kakashi's teammate. Kakashi went through living hell. You know that quote? That shit, it makes my heart bleed to even think of that quote where he tells Sasuke, yo, yeah, you want to have everybody that I love dead? Sorry, you're a little late. Everybody I cared about is already dead. That shit makes my heart bleed. So do we really want our mans to have to come back and go through this bullshit with this Naruto verse again? Let our mans read his dirty magazines in his apartment and chill. He was Hokage for a good minute. They probably gonna drag his ass back. Now that I think about it, oh my god, it might be Minato and the White Fang. Because if he... Just think about it. We're mirroring Naruto. What happened in Naruto when Minato died? Who became the Hokage again? Sarutobi, right? The previous Hokage? Naruto is missing. He is declared dead. Who was the previous Hokage to Naruto? Kakashi. Who would take the place if this is mirroring Naruto? Kakashi. Sakumo, Kakashi. Holy, did we crack the code? We might have cracked the code, people. Holy. I'm trying to build over here, Tim Roosevelt, doing my music stuff, but I still don't want to, completely stray away from the things that I love, because I love talking about anime and manga. So why can't I do both? You know what I'm saying? We talk about anime and manga over here, and I talk about music. In case you don't know, I got my album, The Rise of Tim Roosevelt, out right now. Please, if you get a chance, take a second, go listen to it on YouTube. I'll put a link right here real quickly while we're in the middle of this bad boy, so you guys could go peep my album.
Yes, this is for my day ones, gotta be clear. Still moving on, baby, but I wish you was here. Still moving on, baby, but I gotta get there. Still moving on, baby, I'ma never forget. Still moving on, baby, I'ma never regret. Still moving on, still moving on. This is for my day one. This is for my day one.